Let's dive into the cryptocurrency market update. Bitcoin sellers taking some profits and rejection points that crypto investors are looking for. So I'm not going to ask you to like the video. Let's make a game of it because it's so annoying. Hit that like button if you think Bitcoin's going to hit $50,000 before it hits $30,000. These games seem to work on Twitter. Why not YouTube? The $4,000 Ethereum giveaway winners will be announced very soon. Make sure you've logged into your Bybit accounts to check out if you are a winner, or if you want to sign up for $4,000 of sign-up bonuses, check out the link to Bybit in the top of the description. Otherwise, stay tuned to the channel, hit the subscribe button and bell notification icon as I'll be updating it on the channel very soon. Let's dive in. First things first, the market sentiment. This looks like Switzerland at this point. 50, 52, 47, 52, basically neutral over the last few days, week, and also previous month, obviously with a set of fear thrown in the middle there. Important to note, as we can see what's going on in the market at the moment, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback, but the market's still remaining relatively neutral. The market cap, 2.1 trillion, but we'll go into that in a little more detail in a sec with some support and resistance zones. Bitcoin, 45,700, only a couple of percent down in the last 24 hours. Same deal with Ethereum, a few percent. And the big winner here that everyone is loving at the moment, Solana. I'll get into that a little later in the video. Avalanche, not doing too bad. And also Terra, of course, which we'll look at that again because we have a little bit of a DeFi total value locked game war going on at the moment. Anyway, back into Bitcoin. Yesterday's video, we're right here at $47,500, and we were saying that if the market was to break down from this significant bar here on a short-term time frame, the 4-hour chart, we could potentially see the market fall back to the previous support zones of around $45,500. Reason being is that these have been zones over the last few months, all the way back to December of 2021. And so at the moment, as I'm recording, it looked like it was going to hold. We've still got a little bit more time. Plus, we also have some of the zones just a touch further down at about 44. The reason why I'm so pedantic on those exact numbers is this is sort of an area that we want to see the market hold up at, maybe spike down, but then close back above in order to revisit some higher prices and start to work its way again to go and test that $50,000. Remember to like the video if you think we're going to get to 50 before 30. That's for the short term. And it seems like this could be profit taking of buyers. Obviously, there's been a lot of leverage trading on the way up. There's obviously always leverage trading, but at some point the leverage trading needs to take profits. Otherwise, the risk reward positions in the accounts start to get all out of whack. And so it looks like we're seeing that profit taking happen at the moment as the market comes back to test the area that there was some build up before it took off to that final top at the moment of around $48,000. Now taking a step out, going to the daily, it doesn't look so bad. On the 4-hour, you could see the market was getting quite choppy, churny, but at the moment on the daily, as long as we get above this yellow line, find some support here at about that 44K, not too bad. Ideally, we want to get those closes as high as possible, hopefully getting above the $45,500, as that's previously where the market has found resistance. So as long as we test those levels, but then close above it, that's where we want to see the reaccumulation happen in order to start pushing towards 50K, that next attempt towards 50K. And the wording here was from the last few videos. We were looking for a sell-off or correction coming, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen at that time of the video, but you can start to see the market roll over at that point, and you'll see some sort of corrections. And that's why I had it on the chart, because you can see here, the market was starting to find some resistance at previous levels. The bars were getting smaller, meaning there was less buyers trying to push it higher. The buyers were getting met with the sellers, and then you had the same thing the following day. So even if there was still high volume, which you can see here, so there's still a lot of people actively trading in the market, there was a balance of the buyers and the sellers. So the buyers started to lose momentum on the way up, and then eventually, like the tides, the market turns and we had that sell-off. The sell-off continued with Bitcoin dominance. So some of this is getting thrown into Ethereum holding more ground than Bitcoin at the moment. And of course, some of the other major top 10 cryptocurrencies like Solana and some of the stable coins grabbing some of the market share. So I had ETH run building up if the dominance is dropping. This was put up here as we broke down from the uptrend. Of course, we have our support at around 41.5%. 41.6% of Bitcoin dominance, meaning If we started to see a bounce from that point, then we would probably see the money start to flow back into Bitcoin rather than into alts. And this has just led to a mini alt season over the last couple of weeks, basically where we got rejected at around 44% and we've dropped back down. So if the market starts to head up, or this Bitcoin market dominance is heading up, then I would say the ETH run and the altcoin season may have been exhausted for the time being. The total market cap still holds above some of those critical levels. $2 trillion was one of those. Last time we checked the market, it was back down at around the 25th of March when it was sitting at around 1.95 trillion. And so we still had about 14 to 15% to climb to get towards our next resistance zone. And so we've seen a little resistance at the moment, basically across the board. I'm looking towards 2.25 trillion as the next resistance, which then also weighs into a potential rejection coming for cryptocurrencies, maybe the end of an alt season for the time being, but the trend is still up. You can see higher highs, higher lows, but I'm just looking for these rejection points that the market is giving us so that we can be prepared for some rejection in the near future. As for ETH, it's had a stellar run, 16 days from the low on the 13th of March up to the high, and it made it to its 50% zone. You can see ETH has been much stronger than the likes of Bitcoin, which is still 11% away from its 50%, which is at 51,000, whereas ETH managed to just just get short of 3,500 USD, and it's basically finding some support at those previous highs. So stronger position than Bitcoin at the moment. Again, ideally, let's hold at one of these resistance levels from around 3,000 to 3,300, work its way higher, break through the 3,500, and then that sets us up for a much stronger ETH coming into Q2 and Q3. The drop in Bitcoin and cryptos looks like it's down to the profit taking on the leverage traders on Bitcoin. It doesn't look anything too irrational at this point, nothing crazy with longs getting liquidated. It just seems like natural profit taking. Of course, let's hope to see that Bitcoin holds up around 44, 45,000, which were the previous support resistance levels, so that we can confirm a short-term support resistance flip. And as for cryptos, they hold up and we go to test that next stage, which might be coming towards the end of a mini alt season. We'll wait and see. Let's see what the charts tell us over the next few days. Make sure you let us know if you think Bitcoin's going to hit 50,000 by hitting that like button before it hits 30,000, of course, and subscribe to the channel. The winners of the $4,000 Ethereum giveaway will be announced. Check out the links to Bybit, $4,000 for sign-up bonuses down there, and of course, Patreon and our free newsletter. And our link to Patreon is down below. Altcoin portfolio is coming out in the next few days, and the monthly Q&A. So make sure you're on board. There's a little hack at the beginning of the month, 16% off for annual signups. And if you sign up at the beginning of the month, you get that month for free, plus 16% off for the following 12 months. See you guys at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done.